I think we're gonna wind up talking more about this tomorrow. Um, but I just want to put it out there that Attack on Titan is ruining my life.
We're not watching more, right?
No.
Holding steady. End of season 3.
Yeah, I mean, unless you feel the need to go absolutely ham in the next 2 days,
Pretty full up schedule wise.
which like big vibes, but yeah, it's ruining my life. But I think we're gonna save the majority of that discussion for the stream tomorrow. But yeah, just figured I'd put that out there. What's up?
We started? Are we starting?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because you remember last week when I said that there were those like couple of little things that I'd ordered for your birthday that took forever, and then I showed you the Ted Cruz sticker.
There's something
So
other than the Ted Cruz sticker?
there was another sticker that finally just arrived a couple of days ago.
Oh my god, you got me a new one. Thank you.
It was supposed to be black text because I was like, I know you like red and black together. I don't know what happened, but
It's fine. It's readable. That's all that matters.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, my car is about to be so bitchin'.
finally has arrived.
That is incredibly exciting. Something I'm very excited about is that Ghost just won 2 awards at the Swedish Grammys, which is really exciting. And Mr. Forge had to get up on stage while clearly just like white girl wine drunk and like give an acceptance speech. Satan has been generous to the guesties today.
What do you call the Swedish Grammys?
It's literally just the Grammys, but with an I instead of a Y.
Fascinating. That explains the spelling on the document.
Yeah. I'm sure you've seen everything that I sent to the Twitter chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so not normal about it, but you know, when is that? Since when is that news?
The opposite of news, that's olds.
Yeah, yeah. I continue to get worse every day.
Nice. It's
I like to
important.
think it keeps things interesting.
Important to keep working at that. Just to be your worst
And
self.
fret not, even with that, I still have things for the weekly worsening, which we will get to, but not
Mm-hmm.
for a hot minute.
Yep.
Okay. And here I thought I was doing so good.
Some things in reserve. I have another item for show and tell.
I love
Which
show
I,
and tell. Why
which I
don't we
could
do that just like in adult life?
no.
It
I mean,
sucks that we don't. That should be a thing. Like a formal, organized thing.
it could wait for the worsening, but I have other things for that, and I'm too excited.
Hit me with it. It's a rock fact.
I made him out of felt.
Oh my god, I love him so much. He's so perfect.
He's just a little squishy guy.
He's just a little guy. Um, that's incredible. I'm obsessed. I love it so much. Yeah, you know what? Let's dive right in because I got a mug right here, and I want to talk about this sort of mug holding alignment. Fucking did it again. Every time. Every time that I want to go to the text chat, I have to accidentally exit full screen like an idiot. Anyway, I would like to talk about this mug holding alignment chart that you sent me. I'm gonna pull this up on screen here real quick for whoever's watching this, and for audio listeners, this will be linked. But I guess, do we agree with how they plot, how this artist plots things on this sort of Dungeons and Dragons uh lawful, neutral, chaotic, good, neutral, evil sort of alignment chart, and where do we personally fall?
To pull it up on my phone because
Mm-hmm.
I click on it on here. Just there it is. Okay. So I largely agree with it.
I think it seems fit. Like, the chaotic evil is obviously so correct.
Yes.
Like, I
Yes.
frankly can't think of a more chaotic or evil way to hold a hot beverage.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely fit into the neutral good and chaotic good categories depending on the mug.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because, like, the neutral good, if it's like a big soup mug, sometimes you gotta two hand that bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same for lawful neutral, in my personal opinion. I think generally, as you can
Yeah.
see by the way I am holding my mug of tea right now, I kind of just fall into like a dead center neutral most of the time, but usually not just with the single, like usually more like that instead of just one finger.
Yeah, it just depends on the size of the
Yeah, it
handle, is
depends
it?
on the size of the mug handle.
Because if you can fit your whole hand through,
Oh yeah, then
usually,
I'm 100% doing that.
yeah.
I think it's funny that lawful evil is apparently Levi of Attack on Titan is lawful evil because that's how they always draw him picking up the teacup, like holding
Well,
it by the rim.
if he held it that way and tried to turn from it, I think is more
He
the.
does.
Does he?
Yeah,
Just,
which like L vibes. Jesus Christ, who are we?
yeah, I think
Referencing anime while we talk about another anime.
the I think the chaotic ones are largely about like potentially burning your hand
Yeah. So
because
does so as your beverage so then does this entire chart change aside from perhaps the chaotic evil if it is perhaps like an insulated Yeti mug that does not get hot on the outside? Like do we have to like do we remove chaotic except for chaotic evil from the chart?
hmm well, actually, I mean, I guess some of the well, no, because I would say the other evil ones also would be kind of getting your hands overheated, like 'cause the neutral one is like right underneath.
Again, so does I think if you are to like specify that this is like an insulated mug that is not going to get hot on the like to the touch on the surface, I think that lawful evil and chaotic evil still stay because even if it is insulated, if it doesn't have a lid, there is still a risk of burning yourself.
Mm. Yeah, definitely neutral evil in that case would just be fine. It would just be like,
Yeah, neutral evil becomes just slightly weird then, as does chaotic neutral and chaotic good. They kind of become something else. Just
I mean,
sort of.
I still do chaotic good. I just put my hand through the handle and hold the mug that way sometimes.
Oh yeah. No, it's not that I've never. Aside from chaotic evil, it's not that I've never done any of the like. I've never done any of the. Yeah, I know it's bad.
Hand right in the beverage.
Just dip them in there.
Like that is so accurate though. Like it's chaotic and it's evil at
Oh
the
yeah,
same
no, it's
time.
bad.
Like
If I
it's
ever
dead
like if
accurate.
I saw someone do that, I would think about it for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like if I was like in like a public place in a cafe and so there are several things where it's like this is me getting distracted, but also this is why I miss Tumblr sometimes because there are just these ridiculous little stories that people tell that they like think about for the rest of their lives and I don't really know if they're real or not. They might not be, but I hope they are because they entertain me. I'll try and find these posts, but I've seen one where it's like I had a teacher who banned eating in class, so I took it as a personal challenge to like eat the most ridiculous thing possible without getting caught. And one time I brought a thermos full of soup, and as soon as I cracked it, this one jock exclaimed, "I smell meat. Someone has soup." Which like I would think about that for the rest of my life if that straight up just like happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was either one just a random person in the class who doesn't know that someone is like sneaking soup, or if I was the person with the soup. Like I would think about that dude for the rest of my life.
Sure.
In the same way that I would think about this other dude who someone posted a story about said like, "Oh, my brother's friend just walked into my room, said, "Oh, I smell a quarter," picked up a pile of laundry, took a quarter out from under it, and left. Again, I
Okay.
hope to God that these are real, just because I want to live in a world where things like that happen and are hilarious. But like those, I would think about that for the rest of my life in the same way that I would think about it for the rest of my life if I saw somebody actually do the chaotic evil mug hold that is presented in this chart.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be really hard to drink out of too.
It would never leave my mind.
I should have brought an empty mug to try to like
Yeah, I'm
test.
not gonna risk that with an actual hot beverage.
Yeah, no.
Not today.
Just now. Yeah, I mean the diagonal from lawful good to chaotic evil is almost perfect, but I would put the neutral like with a bigger handle because I feel like one
Yeah.
finger is not secure enough.
Yeah. But I mean, if it's like a kind of a little teacup type vibe like this, that's fine.
Yeah.
I would say that this is highly accurate, and aside from the chaotic evil, I have done all of these at one point or another.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you're a hot beverage drinker, you're bound to just depending on the context and what you're doing, and if you have one hand free or not, or
Because like this has been
I,
happening to me a lot lately because I've been playing more video games recently, and like sometimes I'll be like doing a task in a video game that requires me to like hold down one of the keys or one of the mouse buttons for an extended period of time. What and like I'm watching while something happens on the screen, and I'm like, oh, this is a perfect time to like take a sip of my beverage. But I don't always predict which hand I'm going to be using for said
Mhm,
task before I set the mug down. And I
mhm.
gotta pick it up the other way because I'm still doing something with the other hand, even though the handle is facing away from me.
Yep, yep, been there.
So,
Yeah, and I
like,
think
I think these all, aside from chaotic evil, they can all occur naturally. Again, especially if you got like a big soup mug type deal happening.
yeah, I was gonna say, especially for those of us who like have a whole bunch of different mugs that they just kind of rotate, you know?
Precisely.
Because yeah, I mean, there's huge differences between like some of them have to be two hands because they're heavy and
Mm-hmm.
awkward.
Yeah, especially when you get like the like artisan pottery ones. Those
Mhm.
shits are dense.
Yep, I
TM.
definitely got one of those in there.
And yeah, chaotic good right there. Didn't even think about it. Doesn't even remain consistent even when I don't put the cup down.
Yeah, no, I think we just don't really think about it, but this person did, and I appreciate them.
Yeah, I appreciate them for thinking about it, and I think they did a very good job of placing these things. Do we
Oh
have
yeah,
any final thoughts before we move on?
I I don't think so.
Okay, well, we have another chart to discuss that I stumbled across on the Bird app by Twitter user Lubchansky. That's fun. Um, but here's the tweet, and then the sort of, yeah, I'll call it a chart that we'll be discussing. Too long have we been limited by the two-dimensional political alignment chart. I think by using my new tool, we can truly map another person's politics. Introducing the ideology cube. And
Hmm.
it is the standard sort of political alignment chart of the like authoritarian left, libertarian left, authoritarian right, libertarian right. But it has been given a z axis. So it is now a three-dimensional cube. And I'm going to do a terrible job of trying to paint this picture with words because I still don't know if I correctly in my mind grasp the concept of the z axis. Even when I'm like looking directly at a picture, I don't know if I'm processing it right, but I'll do my best. Um so on the like the positive z axis side, as is the best way I can describe it, like going up, there is not annoying to me personally, and then going down into the like negative z axis, there is annoying to me personally, which I think is fun
Hmm.
because I think no matter what quadrant you fall into, I feel like It's like how people make all those memes about how like there's a bunch like how like sometimes really right wing like auto mechanics, for example, like right wing like trucker types accidentally swing back around to being really left wing by being super pro union and such. So I feel like this is a way like a way to kind of plot this, like things like that, where it's like someone accidentally kind of like circles back around to technically being the opposite of whatever they profess to be. I don't know. I'm just cuz sometimes every now and again a person on Fox News makes a point, as much as it's deeply deeply annoying.
Sure.
So perhaps that is like a point that I would plot on the like, oh, this is like authoritarian right or whatever, but then I move it up on the positive Z axis to not annoying to me personally.
Yeah. What the difference is that anybody can be a dick about their political beliefs.
Oh, 100%.
You know? And it's not necessarily the beliefs themselves that are bad, right? It's nice that people see the world differently and have belief and conviction and all that. But some people are open-minded and they want to talk about
Oh,
it and
yeah.
they speak their opinions in a respectful way. To me, that's the not annoying part. But people who talk in sound bites and slogans and are intentionally trying to troll people, those are the annoying
I
ones.
would agree. And like, I feel like looking at this from the opposite perspective, perhaps someone who is very rather libertarian right,
Hmm.
but also very like, hey, if the Constitution says it, even if I don't like it, you're good. Like, I think they might plot something like the existence of like Satanism as a religion on the like annoying to me personally part of like being very libertarian. I don't know, just an example I can think of, but yeah, I think this does add quite literally adds a whole new dimension to it because sometimes just like the chronically online like neoliberal stuff that is technically left wing but just deeply deeply annoying to me personally, like perfect, that's how I express this mathematically.
Or yeah, and again, it's not even about disagreeing with the person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it might be somebody you disagree with, sure, but it might be somebody you agree with because yeah, me being very left wing, sometimes I get super mad at other people. Like Rika doesn't look bad.
No, literally, it's like that meme that's like the garbage man is right, promote him to garbage boss.
Yeah, I think it's all in the expression of the political beliefs that's the problem, not the beliefs themselves.
In most cases, I would agree. Anything
And
further to say on this, or on to point three for the episode?
I'm solid on it.
I just thought it was interesting and worth talking about. Anyway, um, stolen from Reddit, we have, or stolen from Tumblr, put on Reddit, and that's how I found it. Um, I will read this Tumblr post. Guys, when you take medicine, do you take the pill and then drink the drink, or do you drink the drink and then take the pill? Comment, I don't trust people who put pills in their mouth before the water. And then the same person is showing the results of a Discord of a poll that they sent to their like personal Discord server of I'm like assuming their friends or something. Um, and they seem to be rather disappointed by the answer or some of the answers that their friends have given. But that just inspired me to bring this discussion to our table.
Before we even get to that question,
Yes,
the people that dry swallow pills,
scare me.
those are the people I don't trust.
No, I do not. I do not trust them whatsoever.
There's something inhuman about them.
Correct.
How is that even possible?
No, yeah. Bad. Don't like.
Yeah, I felt that that needed to be said.
Um, Whenever I have to take meds, I put them in my mouth first and then take a sip of my beverage. But that's me personally.
That makes so much more sense though, because like if you already have liquid in your mouth, how do you open it to put the pills in? Because the liquid would just come out of your
I
mouth.
mean, it's possible. Sometimes I'm like it has happened where it's like, oh, I'm taking the last sip of my beverage, and I'm like, oh shit, gotta take my meds, and I'm just like, fuck it, like it happens. But like generally,
Yeah.
um, I don't know. My thing is like maybe if you're like absolutely like disgust, like if you have like something that like starts to dissolve the second you put it in your mouth and it tastes like really bad, I can understand you wanting this to be as like streamlined as physically possible, not even have to wait the second that it takes to like get your drink and take a sip. But generally, I kind of don't understand the like water then meds.
I like a lot of water when I take my medicine. It helps it like go down more easily, especially if it's a big pill.
Oh yeah.
Like more water just it makes it so much easier. You can't really do that first.
Yeah, and also the meds that I take, I have to take like one and a half, and I don't feel I have a pill cutter, but I don't feel like using it because I'm lazy. So I just bite it in half, and it tastes kind of gross. So
Well,
like,
yeah,
mucha agua, por favor.
yeah. If it's a bad tasting pill, I make sure I use a flavored beverage. Makes me feel a little better about it.
Yeah, a little bit, but yeah, no, I'm gonna bold, make a bold, definitive, declarative statement. The correct order is meds, then beverage, in my
Yes.
personal opinion. I said I was gonna make a declarative statement, and then I followed it up with "in my personal opinion."
Well, a declarative statement is not a question, it's a declaration.
Stares into the camera like I'm on The Office. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's interesting the little mini poll they did being almost dead even.
That is, yeah, that is kind of interesting. Although I don't know
Very
if that is like everyone in the group chat actually responded or if that's only the like responses that they got out of however many people are in the server.
yeah, but it's still that's only 13 votes, which is not exactly a large sample size.
Also true. Man, we really blew through questions today. I was not expecting this.
Yeah, I know.
Now
That
we gotta
was
figure out what to do with ourselves.
that was speedy.
Setting records here.
Yeah. The problem is we just kind of agreed on everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of going against the fighting part.
I think that happened. No, I don't know if that happens super often or not. I would actually have to look back and like do some statistical analysis, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm an incredibly lazy human being. Although I gotta say, I feel like you and I like actually fight significantly less than when I first started the podcast, and it was me and Maddie because we were always at each other's throats.
Lately, we've agreed more because I feel like we used to have those more controversial ones, maybe that we were.
Have we run out of controversial questions?
I mean, not necessarily, because I could have seen that medicine one getting out of hand if we didn't happen to agree.
Yeah, it's possible. But also, I feel like the good, sort of controversial internet questions, it's unfortunate that you can kind of only do them once unless you like bring on a bunch of new people and it's like, okay, you've heard our takes. Now we want your, like, the pineapple on pizza thing.
Yeah, major ones.
Which, like, is that on me? Maybe.
Oh, I mean, this is episode.
Ooh, wait, tweet notification from, oh, god damn it. Do you subscribe? Do you follow the Twitter account? Is Henry Kissinger dead yet?
Still not, I assume.
He's not. Every time I get a Twitter notification from them, I get so excited, and it's never the time. It's never the time. Although, how funny would it have been if the answer was yes?
You would have lost your mind.
I would have lost my mind and I would have had it on camera. And I'm sad that that is not the case, but ain't that just the way?
Oh,
Ooh, my bones.
speaking of which,
Frog, is that a
my
Webkins? Because it looks like one.
yeah, it looks like one, but it's not.
Oh, he's so
I
cute though. I love him.
love Thunderburger. So I realized for some people that might have seemed like a complete non sequitur because he said, "Ain't that just the way?" Which is what Greg and Over the Garden Wall says,
Oh
and
yeah.
my frog for when I play Greg.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. There's a discussion point. Oh my god, in the little teapot hat, we're going to a con this coming weekend, baby. By the time this airs, it will have already happened. So you'll be hearing about it in the next episode. I'm sure. But yeah,
That was my
I'm excited.
hat that I crocheted. Which is weird because I don't think of myself as a crocheter. It's weird.
I mean, does having completed one crochet project make you a crocheter?
Crocheted multiple things.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, guess you are. Sorry about that. There we go. How many times do you have to do a thing before it becomes a title you can apply? Because there's always that joke about how oh, you do one painting, you're not an artist, but you fuck one goat.
Yeah.
But jokes aside, actually genuinely, I feel like how many times do you have to do something before you can I don't know, call yourself, have other people call you that thing, a painter, a crocheter, a knitter, whatever.
Yeah, I think that's a hard question. I think it maybe depends a little on the activity,
Oh, I would agree.
but there's definitely this is a major debate that often happens, especially with runners. Like, when can you call yourself a runner?
Mm-hmm.
You can't just, go out for a run and be like, I'm a runner now, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's also one of those things that people will literally run every day for weeks and be like, well, I just started, so I'm not really a runner.
Bruh.
So it I feel like people are hesitant to call themselves runners because I don't know, because the way they have it in their heads is
I
something
think
you have
it's
to do.
not necessarily that people do react this way. I think it's because they're afraid that people might react oh, well, you haven't done a marathon or whatever. You're not the kind of nasty ass gatekeeping thing, which is why I feel like this gets a little thorny because does jogging around the block once make you a runner? Not necessarily, but also I don't like when people sign themselves up to be arbiters of who gets to be X thing or whatever, because that's shitty.
The running community doesn't do that.
Oh, and I'm sure they I'm on the whole, I'm sure they don't. They're you get nasty ass gatekeepers everywhere, but
I mean, because every once in a while somebody will post something along those lines, like, I'm not really a runner, and then people will respond like, do you run? Then you're a runner.
yeah.
So, but I've actually been thinking about this because I'm working on this quilt, and it's the first quilt I've ever done, and I mean, it's going to take forever because it's going to be a big one.
Mm-hmm.
So gosh, I'm trying to think of, I'm maybe 10% into the process. Am I a quilter or not?
I don't. Hmm.
Can I call myself a quilter? Because I've been putting a lot of work into it already.
I think yes. I think maybe the general approximate rule is do the thing once.
Finish the thing.
I don't even. Here's the thing though. Because I know you've been working on the quilt thing a shit ton, and it's not going to be done for a while. But I think if you're spending 40 hours for, hypothetically on a project, I feel like after 10, even if it's not done yet, that's definitely doing the thing.
Yeah.
But also
So
for
maybe,
some things, I feel maybe complete it once. Maybe just you crochet a little thing, then you can do it. Not after you've done the first line, I don't know
yeah.
where precisely the cutoff point is. I think perhaps it does exist. Just not in a gross gatekeepy way.
more about the amount of time spent on it.
Yeah.
Because even with crocheting, like a little amigurumi might only take you like an hour to do. Or you could start off like, I'm gonna go for broke and just crochet a blanket,
Yeah.
you know? And so it's like, if you go based on completion,
Yeah.
right, it can take way longer than the other. So it's more like, I think once you put in, I don't know how much, what the number is, but a
Yeah,
certain number.
I don't even know if you can necessarily put a number on it in any meaningful way, but I think that's a good vibe, if nothing else, a good general rule of thumb.
I think the other important component is intent to keep doing it.
Yes, because I have like knitted a rectangle before, and will I return to it at some point? Yeah, maybe, but that is really not in my immediate plans.
Yeah, like even right now, if I were working on this quilt and then just decided this is the only one I'm ever going to do, I don't know that I would consider myself. It's not going to be the only one, but because I already have, the fabric for the other quilt that I barely started
Oh
before I
yeah,
decided to do a queen size one. But yeah, if I thought this was like a one off type thing, I wouldn't call myself a quilter.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I definitely agree about the intent thing, because
Yeah.
like I've jogged around the block before in my life. Fucking hated it. Gonna do everything in my power to not do that again. So
Sure.
even though I've technically done the thing, I truly do not think that counts, or at least I don't want it to.
Yeah. Or like I still haven't finished it. I at one point was doing decent work on that. Remember the little cross stitch thing you gave me?
Oh
I believe
yeah.
it was I was making good progress on it, and then I put it down, and
And you were just like,
I,
okay, that's fine.
I don't remember where
Oh, okay, cool.
it got wrapped up in my knitting stuff somewhere, which is just
It'll turn up at some point. It's fine.
mountains of knitting things.
It's
And
fine.
well, I'm clearly not a cross stitcher.
Yeah, that
Efforts
does
were
seem
made.
accurate.
Yeah, similar to your knitting attempt. Efforts were made. I'll probably
Efforts
eventually
were made.
maybe in the future I'll find it and I'll try it again and but didn't do it much and don't have clear plans to do it anytime soon. I'm not a cross stitcher.
That seems fair. Yeah, so
Yeah,
there's a vague assessment of when you can call yourself the thing. I don't really
yeah.
know a more eloquent way to put that.
I feel like maybe the better way to phrase it is our perception of how long of the criteria for us to consider ourselves as being a thing,
Yeah, sure.
because otherwise it sounds like gatekeeping.
Yeah, and obviously, like, I think anyone who's been listening to this podcast for any length of time definitely knows we're not authorities on anything.
Technically,
Stop.
I am technically an expert.
No, yeah, you are. Okay, so I'm not an authority on anything, and you're an authority on some things.
Yeah,
So I
communications.
would
So,
say take whatever conclusions we come to regarding just about anything with several grains of salt.
yeah, yeah,
But there you have it.
yeah. It's kind of because you can keep expanding your kind of set of labels. Just keep doing new things because now I'm a crocheter, even though again it doesn't feel right. I think it's weird because I spent so much time like there's knitting and there's crocheting, and now I'm what the community refers to as bicraftual.
Okay. Noted.
It's not super common. Usually,
Interesting. Any particular reason why? Or just not the vibe?
yeah, people just like they learn one or the other for whatever reason. Probably somebody they know did one or the other, and
Hmm.
I mean that's knitting. My friend was a knitter, and you know, and I only started crocheting things because there were certain patterns that were crochet that I was like, but that's exactly what I want to make. So I did.
Sometimes that's just how it be. Well, now we still need to figure out what to do with ourselves. That was fun, though.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. And I've also been thinking about it. Maybe I'm picking up a lot of new hobbies lately as though I have free time for them. Um, but like the cosplay stuff, I guess I'm technically a cosplayer now.
Hell fucking yeah.
'Cause, Toricon and then this coming weekend.
Yeah, no, this is round two for you at this point. And this
Yeah,
time you
and
did it yourself.
yeah. And I put in all that work. I just put buttonholes on my jacket today.
Yo! Hell
So
yes. How did that go? That sounds scary.
it was a little nerve-wracking. I actually I could explain it further, but it's related to something that I'm saving for the worsening.
Noted. We will get
So
there.
yeah, I'll explain that further at that point. So it's almost exactly perfect. It doesn't have pockets because the pattern didn't have the right kind of pockets that Power has.
Who
And I'm like,
cares?
I don't have a ton of time. I'll add them later, maybe. But but other than that, it's like perfect, 100% done, ready to go.
Have you
So I'm
tested it out yet?
as in worn it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've tried it on a few times. It just sitting
Oh
somewhere.
no,
Where am
I
I?
meant like the cosplay
Oh,
as a
the full
whole.
thing. No,
Oh boy.
I haven't even put the contacts in.
Girl.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. It's gonna be
I
fun.
am going to encourage you to test that at least once before Saturday.
Yeah, I've been meaning to. Appear. I'm still not quite conceding yet, but it looks as though I might have lost the war with the contact company about getting the tools in the case.
Ugh, I so sorry. Wait, didn't you say it was like out for delivery or something?
Yeah, they sent two more of the exact same cases that I already had with the contacts that weren't branded and they didn't come with tools.
Ew.
And so I emailed them and I was like, hey, I think there was a mistake. You sent me these things. Here's my order form that clearly shows. And they were like, oh, yeah, we can't ship those separately. So
You can have my second set. It's fine.
I'm gonna have to figure out. So to test them out, I have to figure out how to do it without, the tweezers and whatnot. I was sort of waiting on that package that I
I
thought.
mean, honestly, the little tweezers, I only use those for like getting them out of the little case.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that like I can like in without a ton of trouble get it on with my finger now. You kind of just got to like this one girl in one of my various group chats, I like asked a couple people. I was like, "Hey, does anyone here wear contacts regularly? Like got any tips?" And the thing that helped me a lot, shout out Mary, thank you for the advice. But she told me that one of the things you should do is that like you look to the side and then you kind of just like hold it there, and then when you look back, it sort of like latches onto your like the because your eye is not a perfect sphere,
Yeah.
so it like latches onto the like your iris sticks further out than just the white of your eye, so it'll kind of just like
Yeah. Yeah. My problem was I kept trying to do it like this, thinking that I could like fall against my eye kind of thing, but my eyes are so light sensitive that they kept trying to close.
yeah. No, the I have found that like honestly like look up a little bit but not that much has
Yeah.
been what has been most helpful for me.
Yeah. Now I gotta make an attempt. I was waiting because I was like, oh, I'm gonna get these tools, and then apparently that wasn't a
I
thing.
mean, again, you can have my second set.
Well, I mean, at this point, I've accepted that it's not going to arrive. It's obviously not before this weekend, even
Mm.
if it ever does. So I'm gonna have to try without.
Godspeed.
And I've got my wig, and I've sprayed it a little with the silicone. I'm gonna need assistance with that because
I am gonna need to borrow that because my fucking wig for Misa is still very tangled.
it's right here.
Sweet.
Yeah, and I got a wide tooth comb. Oh, that's sitting right in front of me too.
Nice.
Just spraying it and combing it. But yeah, I haven't really fully tried it on yet. I've sort of started putting it on there. The problem is there's the hair that lies in the face with that wig.
And the wig that you bought, like, is that just sort of a built-in feature, or they like make you do that yourself?
No, it's part of it. The thing is that it doesn't stay together in like one thing. It's all
Yeah, that some hairspray will probably help you there.
I don't own. I don't have hairspray. Never
I got
use
some
it.
floating around.
Yeah, I figured that's maybe a thing to figure out beforehand, but it's so long. It's very long.
Oh, this is gonna be so much fun.
You gotta figure out how to keep those little horns staying upright and
I would suggest clip it to like the actual netting rather than
yeah,
like the hair.
yeah, yeah. I haven't gotten that far yet, but yeah, I mean, there's all those things that I've prepared, so I think it counts as being
I
a
would say,
cosplay.
oh yeah, I would 100% say so.
I have so many little accessories too for
Oh my
with
god.
my dog and my rock.
Actually, maybe this is lame, but I kind of don't care. I and maybe this is another thing I could have saved for the worsening, but again, I have so many things. Um, I made a separate Instagram account for my cosplays. So if you want to follow me at BRK Cosplays on Instagram, there she is. Check it out. I take my nerdy little costumes very seriously.
Yeah, the number of people who have insisted that they need to see pictures because that pretty much everybody I've told they're like, well,
Yeah.
not allowed to see pictures of that, and I'm like, they will happen.
Yeah, no, you don't have a choice. It's a rock
Oh,
fact. Oh my god, it's gonna be so much fun. I'm so pumped. I think we can go to the worsening now, honestly, because God knows that's probably gonna be extensive because of who we are as people.
sure,
Would you like to go first?
sure. Um, so here's the further explanation that I mentioned with the buttonholes. I had everything done except the buttonholes, and I was real nervous because I've never done one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I, got some scrap fabric that from my jacket and was like, all right, I'm gonna test it out. And it kept giving me an error message and beeping at me.
Bad.
And I was online reading things. I jiggled some stuff around, and that seemed to do the trick. But then it wouldn't move. It just kept sewing the exact same spot over and over again. And I was online, couldn't figure that out, was reading all these forums and stuff. And then I got very fed up and I bought a new sewing machine,
No, you fucking didn't.
a considerably nicer one.
Girl.
Very spontaneous might be the wrong word. I'm gonna say sort of spontaneously.
I mean,
Uh,
nice, but also holy shit.
yeah, because I was just getting so frustrated. Well, and you've experienced that sewing machine, like
Yeah, I broke 3 needles in
oh
a row.
yeah, and I had a ton of problems with it making the jacket. And it like I kept getting so mad, and I was like, you know what? Why am I letting myself get angry? This thing is 10 years old now. I lost the spool cap a long time ago. I broke the auto threader within like the first week I had it. It's like, you know what? Why don't I just get a new one? And so I did.
I mean, I can't say I blame you, just damn.
Yeah, no, and it's like $600,
Girly
which
pop.
is not, but it's oh man. I seriously, when the first thing I sewed on it was the rock today because I just made it this afternoon, and I quite literally almost started crying about how beautiful the experience of using this thing is. It is so smooth, and it's like so much quieter than my
Also,
old
can I
one.
just make an annoying little comment about the notion of planned obsolescence? My mom's Kenmore sewing machine from like the late 90s, early 2000s still works like a fucking dream. Is it loud? Yes. But like, come on.
Yeah,
We can do
but
better than this. Anyway.
I mean, it largely came out of me not being able to get the buttonhole thing to work no matter what I did, and I was like, it's just gonna be stupid if I don't have buttonholes. So I got that today, and I just like put my test fabric in to see how the buttonhole went. Perfect.
Nice.
Perfect. Like no effort at all whatsoever.
Oh,
and
that's so exciting.
I had all the buttonholes done within like 10 minutes of trying.
Oh, and you're gonna get to make an Attack on Titan cape on that bad boy.
Yeah, so now I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, think of all the things I can make. It's oh man, and it has like so many fun features. It has a freaking touch screen on it.
Damn,
And
girl, it's nicer than mine.
it has 960 stitches.
Fuck off.
And it can embroider letters. It has multiple alphabets.
Okay, mine can embroider letters.
Yeah. Well, these are things that are new to me. And so it also has them to drop in ear bobbins, which
Yeah,
is
that's
a
what I
nice,
got.
a nice change. Uh, and I know it's a little thing, but it's one of my favorite aspects. It has an auto cutter. Like when you're done sewing, you push the button and it snips the thread for you.
What a fucking
I,
time to be alive.
I'm obsessed with it. Just absolutely obsessed with it. Uh, it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Amazing. And this
I,
is just the first thing for your worsening, correct?
um, I mean, it's kind of I'm gonna say it's the main one
The
because
main one,
again,
okay.
but like think about all the ways I'm gonna be worse now.
Oh, yeah, I am thinking of several and how they could also be advantageous to me personally.
Yeah, no, it is ridiculously nice.
Am
I
I
mean,
a horrible friend? Maybe.
oh man, and I also bought a pen like a pendant lamp to hang from the ceiling over there, so I had better lighting.
Sick.
Yeah, so a lot of my worsening is circle like centered on the sewing stuff.
You love it. You love to see it. Here's how I'm worse. I started playing Subnautica again.
Oh, I saw that popped up for tomorrow's stream.
Yeah. Um, and that's another part of the worsening is that I'm so obsessed with Subnautica and actually being able to play a video game that I am making progress in that it is this will have already happened by the time this episode airs. I think we'll actually be on the second one if we don't decide on a movie for not the stream that we're recording tomorrow, May 4th, but the one after that, the next one, will also just be more Subnautica because God, I'm having so much fun playing that game. Actually, one time when I was still dating my stupid ex boyfriend, I went to go visit him in Virginia, and I was there, and then I like got sick and had to like stay in his shitty little Air Force dorm room for like 3 days, and he had a really nice PC. So he's like, "Oh, just start a Subnautica file," and that's like literally all I did for like 3 days. And I
Nice.
haven't played since then. I hadn't played in years, and I finally picked it up again, and I was like, "Oh no!" So like that's pretty much what I did the entire weekend was
Nice.
just watch Attack on Titan and play Subnautica.
Yeah, that's seems about right.
Yep. Yeah. So video game brain rot back, baby. But yeah, I was getting very frustrated with Dark Souls. And like, am I gonna keep playing it? Yes. Cause I'm not a bitch and I don't wanna lose.
I don't think I've played my Switch in like a month and a half.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
a sharp drop off.
Well, I've just been so
I mean,
busy. Like,
again, I know you're doing things.
yeah, I just haven't had the time, and especially the last couple weeks. I never thought I would say this, but I am so sick of going to Joanne Fabrics. I have been there like
Wow, what a fucking
5 days,
180.
5 days a week. I've been there for weeks because I keep like needing little things. Like, so for example, the teapot hat, it kept like squishing in, and I'm like, that's super annoying. What can I do? And I'm like, oh, I'll go. I got some of the plastic canvas and
Oh,
cut
that
it
is
out
smart.
there.
I would have just put fucking newspaper in it.
Well, I did stuff it, but that even that's too soft,
Hmm.
and if you put too much in it, it just lifts off your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through a lot of things. I tried stuffing first, like polyfill. So there just kept being like little things like that.
Deeply
I had to
annoying.
go for. Yeah, my first attempt at the rock didn't go so well. The shape was really off, so I had to go and get more felt. So almost every day there was another thing that I had to go and get,
Rip.
and I'm so tired of it. I don't want to go there ever again. Of course I will, but hopefully
Yeah.
not. I am, at least I don't need anything for to finish up the cosplay stuff for this weekend,
Nice.
and I shouldn't need anything for the quilt for a long time because it's going to take me forever to piece together the top. So
Hell yeah, love it.
yeah, love it. My manga shelf arrived today.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah! You can actually see it sticking out a little bit right there,
Nice.
but I don't know if I'm going to leave it there because, as you can tell, it's blocking Kirby.
Can't have
Don't know
that.
how I have that. Yeah. So I don't know where else Kirby would go if I moved him. I like having him like visible.
Baby.
So I haven't put anything on it yet, but it's here. It's put together.
Very exciting.
Very excited. So I don't know if that counts as part of my worsening that I now have a dedicated shelf for manga and manga related things, because that's where I'm going to put my Ryuk and my little Chainsaw Man figures.
I would say that it definitely does.
I am worse.
And that's the goal. That is what we're here for. And I hope that everyone who listens to this podcast feels empowered to make decisions that make them their most authentic self, and therefore just so much more of a pain in the ass for your friends and family to put up with. But also, if they don't want to put up with you, they can go fuck themselves. There's my inspirational speech that I will be concluding with tonight.
You gotta work hard every day at being the worst possible version of yourself.
Yeah, in the most fun way possible.
Yes.
There you have it. All right. As always, thank you for fighting with us, friends. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we'll be back again next week. Adios. This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brooks. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at BridgetKelly98 and at AndSarahSaid. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch and Facebook, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider donating to our Patreon for early access to episodes and fun bonus content. Thanks for listening!